Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and I'm going to show you in this series of events we heard yesterday because I heard it was 400 billion, but no, it's $600 billion in one single day that Nvidia lost. And we know right now it's for because DeepSeek AI. On Monday, Nvidia financial experienced a 70% share value drop that destroyed nearly 600 billion in market value, becoming the largest single-day US company capital loss in market history. The stock hit 118.5 to become the largest single-day fall since March 2020, when Corona Chan first appeared globally. So the it was just a bubble. Nvidia betted on cryptocurrency and then they betted on AI and they were doing some business with ChatGPT. How do I know that? Because they themselves said that they were supplying graphic cards for ChatGPT. And let's continue on reading this. The market sold off from escalating concerns about AI industry competition as the main trigger. DeepSeek developed the first free and open source large language model with the H800 chip production from Nvidia. So Nvidia got destroyed by China because of course, I'm not going to deny that. Oh, but they were engineering the AI we already have in the West. I know. Just like everything that every single US company has been doing about manufacturing everything to China, but sure, sell it in the US. That's one hypocrisy. And at this point, before even ranting about that, let's take these points because it's true that they got destroyed because there is an AI competitor from China that runs the AI at the same performance with ChatGPT, but with less resources. With like you could say, with older hardware. Older hardware beat it Nvidia because they still doing these over expensive graphic cards and I have to say they were if you are going to perform like let's say if a car two cars one performs from 0 to 8 6 60 100 miles in at least 5 seconds and the other one is doing it at the same time. But the first car is a fucking V8 engine, while the other one is a V4 or inline V4. Well, inline 4, excuse me. Yeah, I messed that up with car engines. But the reasoning here is if one car is just performing what the other car is doing, and also the second car is weight far less than the first car, people are going to choose the second one as an option because it's giving you the same shit for less, and also the second one it's less expensive. That's a reality. When some stuff, when you have options in the market, the less expensive one, and also of course when they say the cheaper one is costs much higher in the long run, that's some facts that I can actually agree of. But in this case, we're talking about AI, in which here comes the second part, open source. So even I know, yeah, there were some people saying that, but look, you can see nothing of the Square. Of course you can't. China is hosting on that servers. Of course, what is happening? But you're not telling anyone about ChatGPT censored you if you were talking about, hey, make a job about women or there's only two genders. They They don't do that. They looks like suddenly they stopped caring about the censorship from the other side, the over restriction for the first car. That's the reality. And I have to say, I don't like censorship for both sides, but also you have to point out this because going back with the sample with the car, the first one, you need to fucking go to the dealership to fix the car or even to test it correctly in their own settings by the fabric, despite that they are not suited for the needs you are going to use, or well, at this point it's self-explanatory for your needs when you go outside of that dealership. Because, well, surprise, surprise, you don't leave from that dealership. You're forced to drive the same car in the same environment that car company said it to you. Well, that's an example with the fucking dog shit. Like you are not owner of the car. It is you paid for the car, but you are using it as a service. It's not. It's not your car. Ferrari does that. That's why it's a dog shit company. OpenAI and ChatGPT are that thing. They they in one statement they announced that they will go open source and then they backtrack because they know full well that hey, we are getting far too big. Let's just kick out the competition. While also they were receiving fundings from the US government during the Biden administration. So of course it was a bubble that was eventually about to burst. And just because I went too long, DeepSeek announced the creation of their model in only 2 months with an estimated budget of less than $6 million, which raising questions about Nvidia's potential to maintain premium GPU sales. Because at that point, people will say, well, if I just going to stick to AI, DeepSeek just proved to me that I don't need to pay for an overpriced piece of hardware. If at the end of the day, two things are making the same purpose, serving the same purpose. But in this case, that's when my example of the cars is not getting too good because on one side is because car enthusiasts love it, but for graphic cards, even the elites of PC gaming they can't keep up because well, why would I even going to spend more overpriced shit if the game sucks nowadays? Oh, at this point, they are just making it for AI. I know the gamer consumer base. Most of them they don't are not interested in AI other than making some art. But well, currently they have ChatGPT, but it's not going to change. They are going to use DeepSeek because it's cheaper, and if they can run it locally, of course they are going to stick to it. And Nvidia GPUs have maintained dominant positions in an AI data center operation since they drive next level AI processing for massive companies. According to analyst Cantor DeepSeek's the technical breakthrough represents the potential for peak spending in Nvidia's GPU market. So at this point, I don't know if they are going to go back to begging to customers from the PC gamers scenes. At this point, even they are just going to consume, regardless. And honestly, yeah, I know graphic cards for good games and whatnot. My reasoning is, why would you pay for an expensive graphic card for games that don't deserve? Even I have to say, also Nvidia, in certain way, they crippled the market. At least for certain video games because they ignored optimizations. Back in the day, I remember Race Driver Grid, that game released on Xbox 360, and to my surprise, the developers around that time with their own in-game made engine, they optimized it so well that that game could be running on an original Xbox if they wanted to, because they did the optimization so fucking great to the point that the minimum requirement was less than 1 gigahertz, considering around that time in the Xbox 360 era and PC time lap, they were already requiring 2.0 gigahertz in processing. I'm not talking about graphics because they are still caring for people that didn't have graphic cards. But nowadays, every single overbloated game, or even the reason why people hate Unreal Engine is because that they say that the developers they really want to over rely on the graphic card to the point that the optimization they just pass it through their butthole. And and well, even at with the optimization gone, there are still visible bugs. So there is that. And I'm just going to show you something because I know everyone don't like communists, and I understand that, and I agree with that. I don't like them too. I haven't seen them in the West, but the way they do your reasoning, just like I started. Oh, but this fix it source. It is dude. It's open source. You can work around the censorship. Oh, but you're going to install malware. Dude, if someone knows how to code, they are just going to create a forum, tell you, hey, this one is sending HTTP requests to China. These parts of the code they are just designed to collect the data, and just like even reusing my example with the cars once again, compared to the first car that is just over expensive, underperforming, and is just built in a way that you can't use it. DeepSeek, since it's open source, they can reverse engineer everything the stuff without getting in legal troubles. So yeah, if you want them to tell you finally, yeah, Tiananmen Square, this is what happened. You are going to make it with DeepSeek. Sure, people are going to have to analyze the AI, but that's the important part. You can analyze it. You can learn from it. Even if we are making examples with open source, look at the fucking controversy with Godot. Godot it started as an open source. They went woke, and well, since they are open source, someone forked it and renamed it as Redot, and they are continuing to support there. Got bent over, and something like that can happen to DeepSeek too. Since well, my communism and they're getting worse. Well, open source, motherfucker, fork it. They build a community and work through it. That's how modern coding works, or even for the most simple stuff as web development. People that get the time and effort to understand it, they are just going to show you, yeah, here it is. You can work around it and you have no problems. So seeing these fucking retardeds from the I don't want to say they were right wingers, but yeah, I saw some right wingers. I how even I forget about fucking Razor Walsh when he was just saying, but China, they pay to go to make all those companies going work. They decided to suck that dick. And I know they're going to use that argument just like what I'm saying. Oh, but you're saying you're going to succeed Chinese dick. Open source. I'm not going to use it yet. Even if I want to, I just want to wait for someone to finally fix the malware shit on it and see if it works. Or even if I end up buying a fucking PC that actually makes it work because in the minimum requirements, you still need not only the graphic card, 60 gigabytes of RAM. That's the key part. That's the fucking key part. So this is why I don't like these fucking dog shit arguments. But well, this one, OpenAI, huh? 500 billions, give me the West and 5 millions and actually S and Dig 60. Look, even Redditors work around through the censorship. Yeah, apparently. If that's the case, well, they can also circumvent the AI to work around the censorship. My problem with the OpenAI, or well, the irony in that name because they branded themselves as OpenAI, where each is not open. It's not open source. It always stays in their fucking servers. And also, they every single time siding with the DEI nonsense, they dump the performance and the responses. Even I have to say, with the executive order of Donald Trump, is finally going to fix this because again, this issue is from both sides that yeah, they some push their censorship. Yes, like when they told you, oh, but TikTok, sure, TikTok is a hellhole. But they made it. They made TikTok so you can to destroy the West through their poisoning. Dude, they don't like wokeness. They don't like, of course, all these cloud chasers, dumb fucks. But they allow it that in the West. They were enabled, and the fucking society decided to follow. And I didn't follow. I at that point I just stood away from that. From time to time, I'm not going to deny TikTok and have some good bits that got shared over on X or YouTube. And yeah, most of the time it's just cloud chasers. They got enabled because society keeps supporting them only for some shit and jiggles. Why are you bitching about your children following stupid trends that they are going to end their life? Because yeah, they even do that. It's not like it happened in the first time with Facebook. It's not like it happened for the first time on Reddit. They never learn from history, or that yeah, who is the main culprit? Unchecked supervision to your children, or at least social responsibility to not fall out for these cloud chasing trends that risks lives, because more often than not they do. And just to end this, because we went too long with this rant, just to show you, it was a bubble. The government was actually doing this financing of ChatGPT. With Donald Trump, they stopped funding it, and also DeepSeek comes in. But more importantly, the inside trading. These fucking politicians, they were inflating the market intentionally. So we're going to read this. Just announced, Nancy Pelosi quietly sold 1.3 million in Nvidia stock last month, just before weeks before it tanked by 17%. So they knew about this inside trading. I have to know if Donald Trump is finally going to put her in jail. He doesn't need at this point file complaint. No, at this point just put a fucking executive order. We saw the last year how she tried to finally escalate the war between China and Taiwan, and this piece of crowd is still in office. At that fucking over, nearly stepping on the grey old far of a woman, go doing this inside trading. At this point, I wonder what is going to finance with that money, because all her fortune has been made with inside trading. Excuse me, inside trading. So there you have it. I want to see AI to grow, for sure. I want it to be optimized software that I can even run it on my PC. Or even if went to buy a PC with at least with gaming aspects, but also not going over fucking expensive, that I need to pay for this cool water cool processors or of those over expensive graphic cards that they require a second free electricity power supply. At this point, well, I want to wait and see. Hopefully, it's going to open to more learning in this, because well, AI in some regards is actually working for art. It's just currently what it is now. But again, the bubble already busted, and real competition is kicking in. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a pretty good day. Please take care.